Well, welcome everyone to Love vs. Hate. My name is Anne, and I'm your old-fashioned nerd.
And I'm Emily, your mainstream millennial.
And on this podcast, Emily and I like to debate and argue about all the things in life that we love and that we hate.
And usually we don't agree, but we always try to find some common ground.
And actually today we are going to be talking about movie genres, and I think we will find some common ground, but I don't know. It's probably going to be a little bit, hopefully. We'll see. But before we get into all of that, we kind of had a fun idea that we wanted to kind of talk about and encourage our listeners to do as well, is if you were in a Disney movie, what part... Okay, there's kind of two things. There's like, what part would you want to play? And then what part would like make sense for you? Like, do you want to be the villain? Do you want to be the princess? Do you want to be the hero? Do you want to be the sidekick? Do you want to be the comic relief character? Like, who are you?
Yeah, so Anne and I were driving to work this morning, and Anne asked me that question, and I was like, hands down, I would be the princess.
Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense.
And it also just makes sense because I don't have a belting voice, so I couldn't be the villain. And I also feel like I'm not very funny. And I feel like the side characters are also like usually belty as well.
Yeah.
Or they have like a big fun voice.
Yeah, something distinctive.
Yeah.
No, you totally are the princess. 100%. I agree. I think for me, I kind of feel like I could be a sidekick or potentially the villain. The thing is though, I think I'm too perky to be a villain. I don't know.
Yeah. I think that you are 100% a sidekick.
Yeah.
We were listening to Disney music even on the way over here, and she was singing Kiss the Girl.
No, it was the Under the
Sea. She was singing Under the Sea, and I was like, you are 100% a sidekick. Like, you are Sebastian.
Yeah, and I mean, I think I can live with that role.
Or
I feel
Olaf.
like, the Olafs. Yeah, the Olafs of the world. Ultimately, everybody loves them, and everyone always laughs at their part, and like, I feel like I could accept that.
Yeah, and I feel like everyone likes the main character and the side character. Nobody really actually cares about the villain that much.
What? I totally do. The villains, like, this is my thing though. The villains get the best songs, like Poor Unfortunate Soul, and also in Lion King, Be Prepared.
Be prepared. Yeah, that's right.
So good. It's just classic. So I don't know.
I will say,
really
I mean,
songs.
It's not. I think Anastasia, the movie, the villain in that one, I really like his song, but that's not Disney. But anyways,
it's on Disney Plus, so Disney has officially adopted it into its.
Yes,
because everyone thinks it's Disney, but you are right, it wasn't originally. But Disney Plus probably bought the rights to it, probably bought out the studio that made it, because Disney's a mega conglomerate that is going to control everything someday.
Yes. So yeah. You guys should let us know on our socials on like Instagram and Facebook or YouTube. What would you want to be, or what makes sense for you to be? The villain, the main character, the sidekick? Let us know, because we're really interested.
Yeah, or maybe the love interest, like the Kristoffs or...
Yeah, who cares about them? Not really. But really, now I'm thinking about it, who is the villain in Frozen 2? Is there even a villain?
I think it's like...
Or is the villain like herself?
Yeah, well, the villain's kind of the king. It's kind of their great-grandfather or their grandfather. It's kind of him.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah. Sorry. We spoil stuff on this podcast. We're sorry, people.
Yeah.
It's just going to happen. But anyway, that leads us pretty well into our movie genres. I think one thing Emily and I can for sure agree on, I know Disney, like Princess, isn't really its own movie genre, but it kind of is. And we are in love.
Yeah. Disney is a genre to me.
And it's amazing.
Yes.
Again, a mega conglomerate company that is just oodles upon oodles of filthy rich money that I just will never understand and takes over the world. Yet their product, so good. It's just,
Chef's
I love.
kisses.
So
yes,
take my money and give me Disney Plus so I can watch it.
I cannot deny that. We both love Disney.
Yes.
So that genre, love.
Again, Disney doesn't technically count as genre, but
it is.
What is like, okay, Emily, it's Friday night and you finally get to breathe a little bit. The week's over. You've got, you don't have to wake up early in the morning. You don't have work. You get to finally relax. What is your go-to genre that you're going to turn on that night?
It really depends on if I'm watching by myself, if I'm watching with Alex,
You're by
or
yourself.
if I'm watching with a group. Okay.
You're by
I'm
yourself.
by myself. You know what? I don't know if this is embarrassing or not, but I am watching either old movies that I used to love in like high school, which are more the chick flick kind of stuff, like the she's the man type of stuff.
Okay.
Or I'm watching Netflix originals like To All the Boys I've Loved Before, which is still kind of the same,
That's
but it's just
definitely the
newer
same.
and didn't come out when I was in high school.
Okay, so romantic comedies, rom-coms.
Yes, I love a good rom-com.
Yeah, see, this is where we're not going to have... I mean, I enjoy a rom-com, sure. Like, there's some that I like. Most of the ones I like aren't the ones Emily likes. But, like, I don't dislike them, but they would never be my first choice. Like, I have very rarely ever been like, I want to watch a rom-com. Like, it's usually just like, if my friends want to, I'm like, sure. Put it on.
What's a rom-com that you would be like, oh yeah, that's one of my go-tos, or like, I like that rom-com?
I like About Time. Have you seen that one?
I think so. I think I own it, but I don't think I've watched it more than once.
Oh, okay. I like that one because that one's got a good, that one. I like it because it's not just about the romantic. Yes, that's a large part of it, like the main characters getting together, but it's also about like family and like his relationship with his dad and like his sister. Like, it's not just the love of his like wife, but also his family. So I like it for that reason because it's got more to it than just like the typical romantic thing. Yeah.
What about like 50 First Dates or anything with Adam Sandler?
Yeah, not a huge Adam Sandler fan.
Oh my gosh.
He's fine.
I freaking love Adam Sandler's movies. I don't know why. And like all of his friends, like everybody keeps coming in all of his movies with him, and I just think it's really funny.
I don't know. It was never my thing. Like Happy Gilmore, whatever, Gilmore Days, whatever. I don't even know.
Gilmore Days.
Whatever.
It's
not
Happy
a fan.
Gilmore. I've actually never seen that movie, but like 50 First Dates and Just Go With It, and like, I don't know. There's just so many.
Yeah, see, for me, like if it's a Friday night and I get my choice, I mean, it does depend on my mood a little bit. If I'm in need of something that's just like, if I've had a stressful week and I just want to detox a little bit and just relax, I usually turn to Studio Ghibli, not gonna lie. That's like kind of my first go-to.
I don't even know what that is.
Yeah, I didn't think so. It's an animated, like in Japanese animation studio. So they make anime movies. That's like Miyazaki films are probably the best known Studio Ghibli films. So that's like Spirited Away, Hayao Miyazaki's Howl's Moving Castle, My Neighbor Totoro. Oh, that one's always just makes me happy. Ponyo, Castle in the Sky, The Wind Rises. Nothing. No.
Nope.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
Nope.
It's definitely a nerd thing, but they're really good. And what I love about them is they're so childlike. And there's usually in a lot of the Studio Ghibli movies, there's not necessarily a clear villain. It's usually a little bit more ambiguous, which I really like. And a lot of times it's like, it's more just about these people and their struggles and how they like come together to like overcome them. Especially in like My Neighbor Totoro, like there is no villain or clear, like it's just a beautiful, cute, like simple story about these two sisters who move to a new place and their mom's like in the hospital, and it's their struggle of, you know, trying to understand why their mom is like in the hospital, but also they're in this new place. And like, there's no real main big conflict or major like plot. But it's just absolutely adorable, and it makes me so happy because it's just so cute. So those are definitely what I turn to. Like I said, if I've had kind of like a stressful week, like I do really like those movies. But I am a sucker for historical dramas. Love historical dramas.
Like what?
Like Hidden Figures, The Post, Moneyball, like those movies that are based on like true or based off of real events. October Sky. Like, I love that stuff.
Yeah, I like those too, but I have to be in the right mood for those.
Oh, I can watch those at any time, anywhere, any day.
I'm actually pretty surprised that you've never shown me any anime stuff yet on this podcast. Have you? Like movies?
You know what? I haven't yet.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
It's a massive side of nerdom that I have not exposed you to because I know you're going to hate it. And I don't want you to.
Only time will tell.
Yeah, well, you're right, though. I do need to. It's hard, though, because this is the thing about anime in particular. And anime is a genre. It totally is. Like, honestly, it's arguably, like, anime as a whole is probably the biggest movie and TV show genre out there. Like, there is literally millions of animes. It's actually kind of crazy. And that's the thing about it is, like, there's a lot of super really good anime, but there's also a lot of really bad, not good anime. And so I think a lot of people get this, like, idea in their head that all anime is bad because there's all this bad. And I would say probably the bad stuff outweighs the good content that's out there. But so people get this like negative connotation towards it and they feel like anime is bad, but it's not. It's so good. There's so much good anime out there that I think honestly, I do think if people can, I do think there's an anime for pretty much everybody out there because not only is it, they span like all the genres. Like every genre we're going to talk about today is in anime, you know? So it's so good. I just love it.
Interesting. Well, you didn't really sell it for me.
Well, what kind of like, so you like romantic comedies, then you should watch, which I don't know. That's the thing too. Okay. This is the thing. I get into my head when it comes to anime and I just like freak out a little bit.
Because you're like, oh, this might suck. Or you might like it.
Yeah. I can't tell with Emily. Honestly, I'm very terrible at judging what Emily's going to like and not. I feel like I should be good at it, but I'm not.
Yeah. I don't know. I like that I like this. I like this a lot.
Like what exactly?
That you don't know
what you would
what
like.
I'm going to like.
Because I thought you would like Dr. Horrible Sing-Along Blog because you like musicals, but you didn't like it.
Yeah. I just didn't really like Felicia Day. There's just something about her that I was like, eh. And then Neil Patrick Harris, he just could have done a lot better.
Ugh.
He could have had a such better musical part.
Save it for the we already covered this. We don't need to talk about it again.
Go back and listen and hear my
we don't need to relive this.
Thoughts. But okay, so yeah, we talked about what we'd want to watch ourselves. So now let's talk about something that we absolutely hate.
I hate horror. I do. I'm sorry.
What about
I don't
thriller?
Like it. Thriller, I can manage, but usually thriller ends up just falling into the horror category, and I don't like it. If it's a good thriller, like I think of North by Northwest, which is an old movie that I'm sure you haven't heard of. Like that's a classic thriller where like it's super suspenseful. It's kind of mystery-esque. It leans much more on the like mystery suspense side than the horror scary side. So if it's more like mystery suspense, I'm totally for thriller. But as soon as it starts going like too scary and too horror, like no, I'm out. I can't.
What's the difference for you between horror and thriller?
To me, thriller is more like edge of your seat suspenseful, and horror is more like gory, just there to scare you, there to like just be like scary.
The Conjuring movies, which are not really like gory, but it's about like possession and things like that. Is that thriller or is that horror?
To me, that's horror. I classify thriller, like I said, and I guess it's one of those genres that bleeds into each other a lot. So sometimes like some movies might like I said, might be that more like mystery thriller. And that's much more what I'm interested in.
Yeah. I like scary movies. I like having scary movie nights with either just me and Alex or like it's a great double date type of a thing.
Nope. Never. Emily, we will never go on a double date or go see a scary movie.
Oh, we will.
No, we won't.
We will.
We won't.
We will.
We won't.
And then I also really like psychological thrillers.
No. Well, sometimes.
I just love those. They're just so amazing. I'm trying to like have you ever seen Us?
No.
Ooh, that one's a good one. Like it makes you think afterwards. You're like, "Whoa, that was creepy and scary." But like, what did I just watch?
Yeah. Some psychological thrillers I can do but again, a lot of times psychological thrillers tend to lean a little bit more like on the scary side. If it's too scary, I just don't like it. This is my thing, people. I don't want to be scared when I'm watching a movie. I want to be entertained. Being scared is not entertaining for me. It is for other people, but it's not for me.
The whole point of watching something is to make you feel something, right?
And I don't want to feel scared.
Yes, you do.
This is the thing. When I watch movies, I say that a lot, don't I? This is the thing. You just got to, it's who I am, people. You got to accept it. When I'm watching movies, I am very emotional and empathetic during a movie, like to a next level. Like I cry literally at everything. And so on this equal scale with scary movies, I get really scared and like genuinely petrified for these people. And I don't like it. I don't like being so scared. So I can't do it.
I must say there is a lot of really horrible horror movies out there as well.
Yeah, that's true.
Like I don't know why I watched the whole thing, but I just did. I think it was called Unfriended or something like that. And it was literally the whole thing was filmed on like Zoom or like FaceTime, something like that.
Oh.
And like all these different people were just like video chatting. And then they would get a text or like a notification on Facebook from this dead person saying like, oh, I'm going to kill you. And then it sends them each individual messages saying, I'm going to kill you if you do this or if you don't do this. And then like everybody just died off one after another. Like one person like stuck their hand into a blender and like another person like stabbed herself. I mean, it's fine. It wasn't scary. It was just like, why am I watching this?
Yes. Yeah, okay, if you're asking that question, then you probably should turn it off at that point. What about like, I mean, obviously I'm a nerd, so like fantasy, sci-fi, I'm all in. Emily's all out. I know.
I mean, I'm only in for Harry Potter.
Ugh. Typical millennial.
Oh, shut up. I'm proud of myself. I read all the books. So I'm not a typical millennial.
It only took like 4 years.
Don't judge me. I have other things to do.
What about like action and adventure? I feel like that's something we can maybe connect on.
I don't love it. Like I watch it because Alex watches it and like he won't watch romantic movies with me very often. So we end up watching his movies, which end up being pretty good, I must admit. But sometimes I'm just like, action movies can feel so long just because there's so much of the same act. Like there's like 3 fights and I'm like, they're all the same. Why can't you just have one fight and call it a day?
I love action movies.
We could get rid of an hour of this movie because all the fights are the same. They're just taking place in different locations.
Yeah, I'm kind of realizing the more we're talking, I do feel like in every genre there's good and there's bad, because there's certainly bad action movies. Because I understand that. Like there are action movies out there that it's just boring because it's all the same. So I totally get you there. But like Mad Max Fury Road, one of the best action movies I think out there, and it is so good. It's so good. We should watch it.
But like I've seen all of the, what are those movies called? The racing the car one.
Fury Road or
no, that's the one you were just saying.
No, no.
The one with Vin
I know what
Diesel
you're talking about. What is it?
And Paul Walker.
Why can't I think of it?
I don't know. Why can't I think of it?
Fast and the Furious.
Yeah, Fast and Furious.
You're welcome, listeners. I know you were screaming at us.
Yeah, I've watched all of those. I like those. Oh, we've got to talk about superhero movies.
Oh, well, again, that kind of guess, if we're counting Disney as
Is that action?
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Oh, okay. Yeah. And I just got into Marvel like 5 years ago. I mean, I guess that's kind of a long time ago. But before that, I'd never seen like Batman or anything like that.
Which blows my mind.
I mean, I never had any brothers.
Oh, that's a fair point.
And my dad didn't watch movies.
Yeah.
And I didn't have a boyfriend really until college.
Yeah, okay, you're making valid, and okay, I'm understanding.
This is why I am the way I am, Anne.
Okay.
Anne's had 2 brothers, or she has 2 brothers.
I do, and they were both older, so I was definitely influenced by their decisions because we watched whatever they put on. Like, I watched The Matrix, I think I was 8 which makes me feel old, because when did the Matrix, or I don't know, I don't remember exactly how old I was, but I was young. But yeah, my brothers were like all about it, and I remember my mom getting kind of mad that I watched it with them, because I was pretty young. But yeah, the Matrix, one of the best action movies out there too. It was also like the Matrix revolutionized action movies in a big way.
Never seen it.
Are you kidding? Oh my. Also, like the John Wick movies, those
Never
are
seen
really good. Well, of course you don't like good action. You haven't seen good action movies. I think you actually would like the John Wick and like good action, because you like sort of spy and like, do you like those sort of spy mystery action movies?
I don't know. What's another spy movie?
Like Mission Impossible?
Never seen them.
Okay, we need to educate you. I think you would like these ones.
I don't know. Yeah, once again, I have to be in the right mood to watch an action movie, because I'm like, do I really want to sit through a 2-hour movie of like the same action scenes over and over and over and over and over again?
You haven't watched the good stuff. I'll introduce you to the good stuff and you'll like it.
All right, Alex, did you hear that? You're not showing me the good stuff. I don't know if that sounded wrong. Okay, do you have like a memory of the first movie that you've ever watched? Because I'm very curious. Or like, what's the first memory that you have had of maybe the first movie that you saw?
Ooh, gosh. I have no idea. It was probably The Land Before Time. Or if you were to ask my parents, I guarantee you my dad would say that it was the Sesame Street movie, like Big Bird.
They have a movie?
Yeah, it's like Big Bird. Oh, he's going to be upset that I can't remember it. It's like Big Bird. He like gets lost. And they have to go find Big Bird because Big Bird gets lost and goes on an adventure. It's the Sesame Street movie, but apparently we watched it literally a million times as a kid, but I don't have no memories of it. But I definitely watched The Land Before. That's probably the first movie I can remember.
Land Before Time, I definitely watched. I guess all the Disney movies, but like in the theater, do you remember the first movie that you saw?
The first memory, I don't know if this was the first movie I saw, but the first movie that I have memory of was actually, you're going to be surprised. It's totally not a nerd thing.
What?
The Princess Diaries.
Really?
The first one. Yeah.
Wow. Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
Yeah. I went and saw it with my mom and my sister.
I feel like the first movie I remember seeing in the theaters was Shrek.
Oh.
With my grandma and my aunt.
Okay. That's a good one.
And they both fell asleep, and I was like, stop snoring.
That's awkward. I don't understand people who fall asleep during movies. What's your problem?
Yeah, especially in the movie theater, I'm like, what are you paying for?
Exactly.
You're paying to sleep. Okay.
Yeah. I did fall asleep once in a movie theater, but to my defense, I had already seen the movie and I was working at the movie theater and I was seeing it for free and I was literally just like killing time. So that's my excuse. That's my defense.
Okay. What other genres are there?
What about I feel like there's old, what about like Westerns?
Oh, yeah. I don't think I've ever seen a Western.
Oh, there's so much I need to educate you on, Emily.
I just it doesn't. Actually, I have. I've seen A Million Ways to Die in the West. Is that a Western?
I don't know it. Part of me, just by the way you were.
It's Seth MacFarlane.
I don't know.
I don't think it's a Western,
Probably
but
not.
It's. I don't know. I'm gonna say it's a Western so that I can say I've seen a Western and you don't have to show me anything.
Westerns are one of those things that I feel like is a genre that's not made very much anymore.
Yeah.
Which is, for a while
I've
it was
seen Holes.
huge. No. Holes is not a Western. I mean, it's got Western-esque elements to it for sure. I definitely think it was influenced by the genre, but ultimately it's not. I wouldn't classify it as one. But it's like Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, The Good, the Bad, the Ugly. There are some really, really good Westerns out there. And I feel like it's one of those genres that people just don't watch as much anymore or make. Like, I haven't seen a new Western come out in a long time. But I definitely enjoy them. They're super good. Clint Eastwood, like all of his The No Man or the Man with No Name series with like Fistful of Dollars, A Few Dollars More, and then The Good, Bad, the Ugly, like all of those are super good. And also I will say too, like not only American Westerns, but there's some really good Japanese Westerns like Yojimbo, Akira Kurosawa. He was the director of a lot of like those samurai Western movies. Super good. I know Rashomon. Yeah, nothing's probably going to ring a bell for you.
No.
But to all our old-fashioned nerds out there, you know what movies I'm talking about. Akira Kurosawa, classic. I mean, and he's old. Like, they were like black and white, like old samurai westerns, but super good. Ooh, what about, I've got a fun genre that I bet you have not seen a movie in.
Ooh.
What about like epic movies like Lawrence of Arabia or Ben-Hur, or you know, those like movies that are like just big and epic and tell like a bigger epic tale? Like, I don't even know if you've maybe seen one. Do you feel like you've seen anything like that? Or Gone with the Wind or
Harry Potter?
No. No.
Epic movies.
I mean, I guess you could qualify Titanic as one. I would qualify Titanic
New York
as like,
Minute.
No.
Epic.
I don't know. I haven't seen that one.
It's a Mary-Kate and Ashley movie.
Oh. That's not that then. I mean, like those ones that are like Lawrence of Arabia, I feel like is a really good example where it's like they tend to be a little bit longer and they tell like a large story.
Ooh, yeah. A Little Princess.
Oh my gosh.
What? I had that thing on VHS. It was 2 tapes to get through that thing. That's a long movie, yo. That's a big story.
Okay, well, clearly Emily has not seen anything in that genre. I just wanted to throw it out there.
I've seen the Titanic, so there you go.
I would, like I said, I'd qualify it because it's like, it's one of those just larger type-esque movies. Anyway, there was just something I threw out there. Is there any other genres you wanted to talk about?
Sci-fi.
So amazing. I know how much you hate it.
Yeah, hate it. I don't even know any. What's sci-fi? I don't even know. It's
Star
just
Wars.
So boring. Oh yeah. How could I forget?
Yeah. Like
the Sand Central over there. Yeah, no, not for me.
The Space Odyssey, 2001.
No.
I know.
No. I mean, the only sci-fi movie that I will watch is Xenon.
No, it's not. No.
From Disney Channel. I just don't understand how people stand to watch those movies. Like, they're so long.
Maybe because
they're
they
so
have
boring.
Amazing soundtracks.
They're just like looking at sand all day.
They're not always looking at sand.
Okay,
and maybe
well
because
then they're looking at space.
They're teleporting you to another world that is magical and beautiful and completely unique and fantastical. And because it's telling an epic story that's really entertaining and good.
Moving along to war films. Is that a separate genre?
I think so.
Or could it just fit in under action?
I mean,
sometimes it's not necessarily
all genres,
action.
Yeah, and I think a lot of genres just sort of overlap in general. Usually, any given movie is going to have probably more than one genre in it.
Yeah, there's subcategories. But yeah, I love war films.
I do too. Oh, we can connect.
Oh my gosh. I bet we haven't seen like any of the same ones.
Probably not. Let's rapid fire kind of list some of our favorites.
Full Metal Jacket.
Haven't seen. Dunkirk.
Haven't seen.
Ugh. Ooh, what about They Shall Not Grow Old? That's...
No.
Yeah, I didn't.
What about Fury?
No. Saving Private Ryan? That's got to be one we've both seen.
That's a classic.
Okay, that's
a
classic, yeah.
1917.
Oh, yeah. That was phenomenal. Yep, both loved that.
Hacksaw Ridge.
Ooh, really good. Like that one.
Okay, so we can agree here. We found our common ground.
Yep.
I mean, we found a little bit before with Disney, but how about your old-fashioned drama?
I am kind of a sucker for a good drama.
Me too. Like, what's your favorite drama? Like, what would you say?
I would say my favorite probably is like, again, historical dramas. Like, you know, the stuff that's more, what's the word? Like old British historical dramas. Love that stuff. I'm a sucker for that.
What
like even Pride and Prejudice. That's kind of a it's not a rom-com though. See, that's the thing. I do like romantic movies, but they're just not rom-coms.
Yeah, like The Notebook, would you say is a drama, but it's romance. Okay, we're on the same page here.
Yeah, because I enjoy The Notebook. Again, not my
sometimes
favorite,
when I'm just like, I want to cry, I'm going to put on The Notebook and I'm going to cry every single time.
Yeah.
Or like Marley and Me.
Oh, I can't watch Marley and Me.
Or what's another good drama?
Well, and I think drama too is certainly like those historical dramas like Mercy,
Oh yeah.
or Just Mercy. Like I love historical dramas too.
Yeah, same. Sometimes. If they're not about space.
Wow. What about like, have you ever watched any more like kind of experimental films? Like that's a genre I feel like you don't see a whole lot, especially because usually more experimental films don't really make it to theaters. It's kind of more rare that they do.
Like what?
Well, I mean, all the ones I'm going to list you probably don't know, but and a lot of them too, usually like, Upstream Color. That is a really good indie film made by Shane Carruth. I think I'm pronouncing his last name right. Carruth. It's Carruth. But he's like an independent filmmaker who also made Primer. Oh, super good. Love that. But they're both definitely more on that like experimental side. And I just really like those sort of indie experimental films. I kind of consider Loving Vincent, which we talked about on a previous episode a while ago. I think that also kind of falls into that more experimental category. Or
Wallace and Gromit?
No, that's...
I just Googled experimental films, and all of these, I have no idea what they are.
Yeah, they're very... I feel like it's one of those things that is, again, kind of a little bit more of an, old-fashioned nerd thing. Like, I do like to try and find unique films like that that just are, something that's more experimental that doesn't necessarily tell a story in the traditional sense.
Mm-hmm.
I just find a lot of, like... I think they make me think about the industry kind of as a whole. And I don't know, I just like thinking about that stuff.
Speaking of other weird things, how about silent films?
Ooh, there are a couple silent films I actually genuinely do like.
I took a whole course on silent... Oh, well, they were silent films, but they were Soviet silent films.
Oh, Russian. Interesting.
And I was like... no thanks. Okay, bye. I don't know. I wasn't really into them. I was like, I cannot relate to you.
I think I like them because I just have a deep appreciation for like how far we've come. And I also like, especially like the Charlie Chaplin movies and stuff, like there was a lot of really clever things that they were doing to make the movies the way they did. Just like the way they would play with the camera or the way they would play with the sets and stuff. Like they were really clever on how to make the genre, start like making movies and making it work. So I think I appreciate them and just have like Metropolis is actually one that I do really genuinely enjoy. And that's a silent film. But yeah, more so I just have like a deep appreciation for what they've done and just like the history behind them.
Mm-hmm.
But there are a lot of really, really good black and white movies that are not silent, like they have sound, but that I really genuinely enjoy a lot. And I think like I literally had a friend in college who refused to watch black and white movies and like older movies because she just was like, no, they're going to be bad. And like, I think that's a bad stigma to have because there's a lot of really good movies that were made a long time ago in black and white, but they're still really good and relevant today. So that's going to be my life lesson. I guess we can kind of jump there into life lessons. Just like with books, don't judge a book by its cover. Don't judge a movie just because it's in black and white. Trust me, there's some really good ones.
Hello, Marlon Brando.
Yeah. Streetcar Named Desire, super good. Everything with Jimmy Stewart, like he was in like Mr. Smith Goes to Washington. Love Jimmy Stewart in like literally every Jimmy Stewart movie ever. He's just like one of my faves. All the like Alfred Hitchcock movies, really good. Of course, Citizen Kane. I'm a sucker for Citizen Kane. I know Emily's not a huge fan. Or do you like that one?
I don't really remember everything.
Yeah, that's fair.
And then,
you and your memory.
I'm trying to remember like Audrey Hepburn. Like were her movies in black and white? Some of them probably.
She had some. Her early work was.
Yeah.
She was kind of one of those actresses who got started in like black and white. Like she was in I think she starred in Sabrina, the first Sabrina. But her career also, like, she did like My Fair Lady, and that was in color. So she was kind of definitely in both, but she has some black and white. Yeah, because I'm pretty sure Breakfast at Tiffany's is in black and white. Also a really good one.
Yes.
There's so many good films.
Yeah. Let's see. What's my life lesson? My life lesson is sometimes be open to watching other genres for when you're hanging out with other people. Just be open to it sometimes, unless it's sci-fi.
Emily just says these things to make me freaking mad.
No, I don't. I just don't want to watch sci-fi ever.
I don't understand. This is something we will not find common ground in ever. Although I am determined to find a sci-fi that you will enjoy, because I know there's one that's got to be out there.
No.
Yes.
But yeah, I really like some of the dramas and some of the actions so far, and some of the I don't know. A lot of the movies I never thought I would ever watch, I've seen, and I'm like, wow, those were actually really good and a lot better than my high school rom-com type movies that I watch. But
she said it, people. She said it. She can't take it back.
But I will always go back to my cheesy rom-coms. What's my question for you? What is the most recent movie that you've seen?
I'm pretty sure it was Tarzan.
That's amazing.
Because I'm a sucker for Disney movies. I'm ashamed. Well, I'm not ashamed to say it. I just feel like I wish I could say something more nerd and more cool, but it was Tarzan. That was the last thing I watched.
Yeah, mine was Josie and the Pussycats. Yep. Great movie.
I don't know it.
You gotta watch it. It's on HBO Max.
I'd probably hate it.
It's all about subliminal messaging, Anne.
I'd probably hate it.
That's the movie I was telling you about.
Yeah. I'd probably hate it.
Such a great one. So you guys should let us know what is your favorite genre and what is a genre for movies that you hate. And we're going to go watch a movie, and it's not going to be sci-fi.
You never know. Maybe you said keep an open mind.
Yep, to anything but sci-fi.
Ugh.